Seth with Broken Barrel Whiskey Company. And what we do is pretty unique. We do a mash bill, like every whiskey, but then we also do an oak bill. And the oak bill is where it gets kind of interesting. We take hammers, break barrels, put those barrel staves in the whiskey. We put the wood in the whiskey, not just the whiskey in the wood. And when we do that, the flavor, the complexity, it creates a whole new level of whiskey. This is not like other whiskeys, and the proof is in the barrel, the truth, it's all in there. So, it's all about, we call it the truth is in the barrel, and we put it on the bottom right there. So check that out. You gotta check out Broken Barrel. We have a California oak with Cabernet. We have a small batch with French oak, a little bit of ex-bourbon, sherry cask. We do a cask strength version of that at 115 proof. And we have a rye whiskey we call Heresy, because what we do is kind of sacrilegious. So,
when was the first sort of time you had bourbon?
First time I had bourbon?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Illegally. I had a fake ID when I was like 18. I was buying booze and selling it to my dorm mates in college.
What were you drinking?
Oh, God. I remember I had a Canadian maple whiskey that I really liked because it was sweet and easy to drink, which, I was the demographic of that back then. But first bourbons I really got into, I think it was Booker's that broke me. Booker's, they got me into that high proof stuff, and I never really settled down. So now I've got over 1,000 bottles at home. I'm a collector. I had a little podcast that I did for a while. And yeah, I'm also founder of Broken Barrel. So
what made you decide to found your own company? Like how do you go from
we started
100?
Yeah, we started a company in 2012 called Infused Spirits, and that was a vodka where we actually put fruit in the bottle, and we ran that, and we were in 35 states with that company. And then we created a whiskey 2017. It's still called Infused Spirits, but now we've changed the name, changed the packaging. So you're seeing the brand new packaging of Broken Barrel whiskey. This just came out this week, so September 2021. It's the one.
What's the big picture there? Like, bourbon's having this huge moment. What's sort of your...
Well, Broken Barrel is a process company, not so much a provenance company. So we're not all about where the whiskey's from. I'll use whiskey from MGP. I typically use most of my stuff from Owensboro for our core lineup. And then we also do whiskey, we can get from Tennessee if we haven't done it, but we could. And we can get whiskey from California. We can get whiskey from anywhere. As long as it has an oak bill, then it is Broken Barrel. So if it doesn't have an oak bill, it's not Broken Barrel, right? So everything we do is always going to have that oak bill. That is what unifies everything we do about Broken Barrel. So.
Is there anyone else saying oak bill, or are you guys?
Can't. We trademarked it.
You trademarked it?
That's ours. We trademarked oak bill. That's our thing. I knew it was going to be a meaningful addition to the industry. Someone somewhere created mash bill, and I don't know if that person got enough credit for the terminology and the importance that has in everything we think about and know about whiskey. But I know that the oak bill, I'm seeing people start to stave finish and call this, call that, but I think it needs a proper term because it is a process, and it's as important as, vatting or batching or, bottled and bond. All these things have terminology because they're important and they matter and they have rules around them. And so for us, we want to, one day establish rules, and if it becomes a term that other people want to start using, we'd be happy to pave that pathway and kind of set that standard for the industry. So we'll get there, one step at a time. We've got to sell a bunch of this first.